The pull to Deacon is just too strong, stronger than your feelings for your grandchildren. I miss him desperately. I can't. I wanted to hear it. I don't want to can't hear it anymore. I can't hear it.
There is no shortage of emotional tension and unexpected twists in the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, which is known for its combustible nature. For Steffy Forrester, however, the drama is more personal this time around because she is becoming increasingly concerned about the well-being of her mother, Taylor Hayes, and the dangers that she faces. What begins as a minor concern quickly escalates into a significant one, prompting others to question whether Taylor is in a more precarious situation than anyone had previously believed. In the most recent episodes, Taylor has been going through a number of emotionally challenging events that are highly tough. Because of the fact that her past, relationships, and unresolved issues are coming back to haunt her, the environment that she is in is becoming extremely delicate. Because Steffy has always had an extremely tight and protective relationship with her mother, she is unable to ignore the hints that have been left for her. Steffy Forrester has always been the kind of person who will not stand by and watch her loved ones suffer. This trait has been ingrained in her from the beginning of her life. She is known for her bravery and determination, and she has performed courageous actions on numerous occasions in order to safeguard her family. However, the sensation is different this time. There is no obvious adversary or danger in front of her as far as she can tell. The sensation that something isn't quite right is what it is, and it is something that won't go away. Small signs have been picked up by individuals who have been paying careful attention to the narrative. These hints include Taylor's unapproachable behavior, instances in which she paused, and instances in which she was emotionally fragile. In spite of the fact that these items would appear to be of little consequence, they have been sufficient to trigger Steffy's intuition. It is nearly always the case that those instincts are correct. Steffy begins to question whether Taylor is truly safe, not only in terms of her physical well-being, but also in terms of her mental and emotional well-being. In a world where emotional difficulties may readily evolve into genuine danger, her worries are not an exaggeration. If anything, they are justified. It is now clearly visible that Taylor is weak. People have always had the impression that Taylor Hayes is a courageous, intelligent, and caring individual. As a psychiatrist, she has committed a significant amount of time to assisting individuals in resolving their issues. However, even the most resilient individuals can have periods of weakness. Taylor may be dealing with more than she is letting on, as evidenced by recent events, which hint to the possibility that she is. For her, a perfect storm has built around her as a result of previous wounds, conflicts that have not been resolved, and relationships that are challenging. Whether it's because of old feelings from previous relationships or stress with individuals she knows, Taylor appears to be in a delicate emotional condition. This could be due to either of these variables. This is a really distressing situation for Steffy. As time goes by, she begins to realize that Taylor is not as forthcoming as she once was. It appears that people are becoming cautious when they speak. Apparently, feelings are being repressed in this situation. Furthermore, and this is the most important point, people are beginning to speculate that Taylor might be concealing something. Because of this uncertainty, Steffy's anxiety is much more intense. Is there a danger that isn't immediately apparent? The question of whether or not Taylor is in danger from external forces or whether or not her mental problems are the real threat is one of the most crucial questions that needs to be considered in relation to this book. Fans are kept on the edge of their seats by the writers of The Bold and the Beautiful because they have done an excellent job of blurring the borders between different events. However, there are other fans who believe that someone from Taylor's past could potentially reappear in her present, bringing with them unresolved difficulties or even potential danger. According to the opinions of certain individuals, the story is preparing for a more significant internal crisis in which Taylor's mental and emotional well-being would be the primary focus. No matter what happens, the stress will always be present. The growing anxiety that Steffy is experiencing is a reflection of what a lot of people are experiencing. Something is going to happen, and it won't be simple to deal with. When family issues start to become more serious, as Steffy's anxiety increases, it starts to have an impact on the others who are in her immediate vicinity. the members of her family begin to take notice of the fact that she is not feeling well, which results in conversations that hint at more serious issues. As in a soap opera, this worry does not remain in one area for an extended period of time. In the process of spreading, it causes changes in the manner that the family functions as a unit. Questions are asked by individuals. The people begin to have uncertainties. In addition, at some point, everyone will have to consider the possibility that Taylor is not as secure as they had previously believed she was. On the television show The Bold and the Beautiful, the show does an excellent job of turning insignificant concerns into full-blown drama that affects everyone involved. Steffy is executing an action. Something that makes this narrative so interesting is Steffy's proactive reaction to the situation. Instead of ignoring her instincts, she begins to investigate the matter in order to find out the truth. She starts to pay closer attention to the manner in which Taylor behaves. She tends to ask questions that are more direct and to the point. She is even considering taking action in the event that it is necessary. It is significant that Steffy's character has undergone this shift. It demonstrates how she has evolved from someone who just responds to drama to someone who actively attempts to prevent it from happening. At that point, things start to take an unusual turn. When it comes to soap operas, the pursuit of the truth frequently results in unexpected revelations happening. Even more emotional stakes are at play here. There is a great deal of emotional weight in this story. At its core, it is about the love that a daughter has for her mother and the fear that she has about the possibility of losing her. Rather than being suspicious or upset, Steffy's concern stems from the fact that she cares about the situation. In addition, this makes it much more powerful. Individuals who witness her emotional journey are able to feel every moment of uncertainty and strain alongside her. The possibility that Taylor is in danger, whether it be in a physical or emotional sense, makes the situation more serious and puts people on edge. Where could things go from here? Despite the fact that the program has not yet presented us with all of the possibilities, a number of them are beginning to come together. There is a possibility that Taylor is going through a personal crisis that needs assistance and support. There's also the potential that an external danger would materialize, which would put her in an actual risk and demonstrate that Steffy's suspicions were on the correct track. It is possible that the story will also explore more profound psychological issues, such as the difficulty of coping with unresolved trauma and the strain that emotional tension can cause. This is a pivotal moment in the story, regardless of what happens in the subsequent events. Reasons why this storyline is so important. The plot of this soap opera is distinct from those of other soap operas, since it contains a great deal of emotional depth and is simple to relate to. This is not just about drama. It is also about family, about trusting one's instincts, and about how essential it is to pay attention to the people who are important to us. Steffy's concern for Taylor exemplifies a universal truth. There are times when the things that pose the greatest threat are the ones that we are unable to recognize straight away. There are moments when the most loving thing you can do is to not ignore the experience that you are experiencing. The final thoughts. As Steffy Forrester struggles to cope with her growing concern for Taylor Hayes, viewers are left with a sense of both anticipation and unease. Without a doubt, something is taking place, and it has the potential to alter everything. Regardless of what occurs in the next events, there is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty. Everyone is keeping a close eye on Taylor, and Steffy will not stop until she discovers the truth. In the television show The Bold and the Beautiful, discovering the truth is never simple, and doing so almost always has repercussions.